Thanks for finding my channel. This is my backgammon learning journey, which I want to share with you because it's the best game ever. So let's go under the backgammon microscope. Right, today's screw-ups are from an online league match, United Kingdom Backgammon Federation league match, first to 11 points. And blinking you miss it sometimes. Be on the ball right from the start. That's the first headline we're going to go with, and it's because I wasn't on the ball right from the start. I didn't realise after 3 moves that I'd actually entered a doubling window. I don't think it's immediately obvious, but as you can see, XG data there suggests this is a cube and would be correct to pass. It is easy to miss cubes, early cubes, especially playing online when we get a bit click crazy. This was only my 4th move, basically. But look at the position. I've got 3s to make an anchor. I've got lots of good escaping rolls. All my doubles play really well. And I've got quite a few rolls that are good blitzing rolls here. So this one isn't totally obvious, but I think it's because I'm just in a general position of strength without being super strong, without being obviously too good. But at the same time, quite a few of our wins here will probably be gammons, because if I do get a successful hit and cover or a hit and miss and then cover, I'm in good shape. It is an easy one to miss this, but just a reminder to me that you need to be on the ball really quite early on, well, basically all the time. Consider the cube then, but I was distracted here thinking about the cube. I was actually correct not to cube, very marginally correct, as you'll see in a minute, but I was not concentrating on the hitting play. I mean, I did hit, make a point, which looked obvious, but the better play is to make the 4 point and hit loose, and then we're building our prime from the correct side. Basically, that's the finishing position. As you can see, it's not too scary for us if we get hit from the bar. White's own border isn't all that strong. And I think I just got distracted, not looking for a better hitting play, because I was thinking about the cube. As you can see on the left, it is correct, it's not a double, it would be a take, but because it's minus 0.002, that's 2 millipoints, it would be absolutely fine to cube here, because there's a very strong chance, not very strong, but it's enough of a chance that your opponent would do it, would pass incorrectly anyway, so it would be no problem cubing there. But I could have spent a little bit longer looking at how to play this 4-3. The hit, I think, is fairly clear, but I don't have to do the hit and cover. Making the 4 point, hitting loose, I think is a stronger play going forwards, basically, because we can build a better prime. There's a definite flow to playing online that can get us into trouble, I think. Here I've rolled 5-2 from the bar. I've missed a cube, actually. It's saying it's a double blunder there, not to cube. I've rolled 5-2 and I sort of clicked instantly and came off on the 5 point, and then looked and thought, oh shoot, I've missed the fact that I can hit on the 2. So all I did was basically fix that with a few right clicks and whatever, and there I was hitting on the 2 point, but not at any stage did I stop to think, should I even hit? The answer is no, actually. I've got 3 checkers off, I've got a big race lead. Hitting here is just inviting the possibility of being hit back, because if I hit on the 2, I can't play the 5 to safety, the one that's on the block that's on the 5 point, can't move that to safety. So I'm inviting white to hit me. And if he hits me, I'm going to reduce my winning chances and gammon chances considerably. So this is what I mean with online. It's so easy to play too fast and just get into clicking and fixing things that you click wrong. And the pace of the live game is a bit easier to deal with. I could look at that for a few seconds and go, ooh, do I need to? But here I just clicked away like a madman and got the blunder I deserved, really. Better. I don't hit, I'm better off, really. So, 2, 3, 4. I think here I was possibly distracted with thinking about the cube just before it, but I don't half make heavy weather of this. Using all 4 parts of my roll to make the 5 point, well, why don't I just do that 65 twice? It gives me 2 other things I can do with the other ones. which was stepping up, which would be good. And in fact, staying back comes to bite me in the very next move, interestingly. So it became a bit of a compound error. As you can see, my mistake is 8th choice and a 0.2 blunder, so quite a big blunder. And when I did, even though I was a bit distracted, was what I call fancy play syndrome. I did something fancy that I didn't need to do. Can I step up is the question. I kind of feel like I've got to. So that's stepping up into the midpoint's no use to me anymore anyway. It is, of course, annoying when you sort of have the right idea and change your mind. 4-2, the roll here, and I'm asking, should I step up? The answer is yes, I should. I sort of moved from the midpoint thinking, well, I don't need it anyway, which is kind of true, but it's missing the real point of the play. I do have a small race lead, and if I leave those checkers there, they're just going to get hit and pointed on. I am better off stepping up. So you do have to start moving your back checkers at some point. You can't leave them there forever. This is a throw over from the roll before. I didn't step up then. In fact, of course, if I had have done, played the move correctly to the 20 point, I would have been able to use the 4 here to make the anchor. But, you know, that's sort of results-based thinking, which you mustn't get down to. But this is another quite a big blunder in the very next move, and I tend to do this. It makes sense, though, if you think about it. I tend to make blunders one after the other because you've got the sort of, your focus is in the wrong place, and if you make the same error effectively 2 or 3 times in a row, that sort of is understandable. So you can avoid a lot of PR loss just by not getting things wrong. As daft as that sounds, but you know it expands if you got a theory wrong, and it gets worse and worse. So I really needed to get moving here, just because I'm a race lead, and if I don't move, look what's going to happen. Could I play that and hit? Or no, I don't want him to make that anchor really, and I've left a piece back that I could have made safe. You can hear me saying here that I don't want him to make the anchor, which is a valid concern. But by hitting, I'm making it just as likely that he will make the anchor, because he could roll a 5, he could roll other combinations. Making the 7 point here, the bar point here, it looks great, but I chose the other play because it did 2 things. It made the bar anchor, and it hit. When I initially saw this data being a 0.1 blunder, not a huge blunder, but a blunder nonetheless, I thought that's a bit odd, because often achieving 2 things is better than 1 in backgammon. But the trouble is, if one of the 2 things you're achieving isn't great, then that theory won't apply. So hitting here has some downside. It strips the 8 point. White is not going to find it difficult to come off the bar, clearly. Might well make the anchor that I'm worried he's going to make anyway. There's plenty of ways he can do that. I could get sent back. And also if I hit, by definition, I'll leave the checker on the 11 point, and that's now vulnerable to being hit with a 6. So actually, if I'd looked at this a little bit longer and sort of counted a few combinations, I'd have realised that on this occasion, hitting didn't make a lot of sense, and it wasn't the right play, even though it was only a small blunder. So back checker is the problem. Let's advance it up. I think we probably need to hit loose. We've got covering numbers. If we get hit, it's not too bad, but if he misses... Okay, so this is actually not the time to be hitting loose. That's my roll 3-2, and I'm petrified of the front position White's got, so I decided to step up. Problem with that is it means the hit that I do is uncovered. It means that I'm giving White the opportunity to basically send me back when White's position is very strong, which we don't really want. So I need to forego the stepping up bit of this and hit and make the 5 point. I need to contain White, not let him put me in further trouble. I've overvalued the importance of stepping up just now. Yeah, what you will actually notice is that if I step up, a 6 is no longer useful to me. I would have to roll a 4 and something else. Whereas a big 6 would be much more useful to me if I actually stayed back. Then, as you can see, that I can get out with a 6. So just a small detail, but maybe significant. This was a big blunder, 0.424. Well, very big blunder actually. I've got overly concerned with stepping up when I didn't need to be looking at that. I need to be hitting and containing and covering. That's really important here. Shall we go? Basically, I wasn't sure here. Didn't give myself long enough to really consider it either. 6-5 is my roll. I'm worried about the gammon, and I eventually decide to run, although I think initially I decided to stay, or was thinking about staying, which is annoying. But at least it was up there in my thoughts. That's the final position after we should have played it, and that leaves white in a pickle if he rolls any 2 and any double, actually, thinking about it. So there are some numbers that white could roll that would leave me a shot, and if I get a successful hit, then I'm back in the game, and 4% sounds about right. That's what XG is saying. If I stay, I'm 4% to win. The sort of green triangle on the rectangle on the left is on the data there that tells me that, and I've put a red rectangle on the. That's how often you are gammoned by your opponent. As you can see, if you compare it to the top one, it's 15% more likely that I'll be gammoned if I run, and that's because I've got so many checkers to get in, and white will be off in no more than 3 rolls basically if I run. So there might be a formula for working this out that I'm not aware of yet, but this one's a judgment call, and my sort of judgment centres are not quite there yet. I'm getting close, I think, but in the cold light of day, this one does look like I should stay, but it's difficult to do because you're thinking, well, I'm just going to get gammoned, and the match score as it is, you sort of I tend to take the conservative approach, but I think on this occasion, a little bit more thought, I probably could have worked out that staying was actually correct. Thanks for watching my video. Hopefully you'll join me another time soon.